to do this game on the Coddle, because I don't see an easy way for him to sort of make things happen, you know?
Sure. We'll see how he is going to be able to help the boys, and honestly what this mid Earthshaker is going to be able to do as well. I know this hero is, I think really we saw it mostly played as a mid. I know it didn't get played too much, but like whenever we were getting it like Bali and Riyadh, more often than not, I think it was played as that too. Of course, now it's changing a little bit, especially with, you know, in China we saw it. I don't even think we saw it once played in the mid lane. So very interesting. Another thing to mention, noticed doing this sentry shenanigans down the bottom side. So yeah, he did. So again, if anyone hasn't seen this, because I mean I've only seen it a handful of times now. I think it was, I really think it was Betboom. I don't remember who I saw it first. Now I thought it was Betboom at Bali. Did he do it at Riyadh that we saw?
I think so.
So the reason behind it is just the creeps are going to aggro the sentry once they get in tower range, and then
we'll be able to have a look.
It's going to kind of drag the wave back. So yeah, we're going to be able to see this actually come into play. So it just stops it for a little bit of time. And then you'll see now Radiant, the way you kind of play against that is Dark and Retsu need to go up inside the lane and body block the dire creeps or drag the aggro so they don't go underneath their own tower. But the reason for this is just, and they will not do it as well. So now this is going to bounce back into VP's side of the lane. So yeah, very crafty stuff.
Interesting way to be able to start things off. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more, and we see the strength of the clockwork here. They're already able to get rid of almost both Lycan Wolves at the very start of that, so Natus forced to deny both of them up. I think they ended up getting one of those kills secured, and it does give them a lot of experience in the lane too. So yes, the lane will be bouncing back, but at least you're dealing with the Lycan Wolves in some capacity. We're going to see a lot more of this Shaker mid, I feel, in Eastern Europe, just because for Team Storm, you've got Nicky Cool, who plays an amazing mid shaker as well. So he dominates lanes that he really shouldn't, like the Queen of Pain, for example.
Yeah, how are we expecting SquadX to play this lane in particular? Because we know like Ember can be pretty versatile with his skill build as a whole, whether it's, you know, you've got a Mirana in your game or like an Earth Spirit. Maybe you want to put a couple more points in the chains. If you're against a low armor hero, you can max out Slide and Orb Corrosion. But what about against the Earthshaker?
It's going to be a really weird one where I feel like do you trust your own last hit ability, or do you try and just secure experience for yourself? Because I really feel like Natty Narwhal is not going to let him get a single range creep, and you're just going to be able to like out level SquadX in this lane and be able to, you know, hit up onto those big timings a little bit quicker. I mean, Enchant Totem starts to scale really damn fast, so you know, if you're going into this this Flame Guard build, sure, you might be able to keep the lanes pushed out a little bit further, stop the pressure onto yourself, but you provide very little protection for yourself as well.
We are seeing, at least down bottom, a lot of resources expended between the two sides. Dark, there's 2 tangos and some stick charges. Retsu as well has got some 1 charges and some tangos, so they should be okay for the moment. Again, Equilibrium very much favoring Dire currently. How's the other side lane looking up top? Kiritich is, well, he's free farming this lane. 15 and 4, 16 and 4 make it compared to the 5 and 1. So the Sven's off to a great start.
That's just off the back of FNG. They've even got a stun up in 1 second. Ooh. Not going to be enough. Didn't use the blood grenade for it though. And you should be able to get another pull-off here on this hard camp. So I really like how VP in particular are understanding the strengths of this this Lotus pool. They really want to make sure that they're securing it every single time. They're making sure to shove the lane out at like 2 minutes 40 in both side lanes. I think I've seen it happen in Game 1 and Game 2. So it's just a good understanding of what's going to give them those a little bit of a power spike, especially when it's going to be the thing that secures your first blood.
We were kind of talking before about maybe the role of Laguna this game with the Coddle. What about his, you know, opposite position for this game with the Sky? Are you, I think in particular, are you considering about making stacks, considering you do have a Sven?
I suppose so, but I mean, you've got Avenge who could look to do a similar sort of thing. Like, it's going to be a little bit more awkward, of course, just because you want to make sure that you're A, getting up onto your level 6 to be able to save from the eventual hook shots and all that that are going to be coming, but B, you're not exactly, you're a position 5, right? So you're not going to have that same sort of potential to be able to make a lot of those attacks happen. But I mean, they're playing on Dire side. They've got a very healthy control over the jungle, and they should look to maintain that, because another area of this draft that I'm seeing is a little lacking from Matreshka is their tower taking capabilities. Like a Shaker, a Darkseer, even a Muerta, who needs to be, again, farming up for that, probably going to be Maelstrom into the BKB, is going to be a little less present, I would say, in a lot of these early engagements.
I like this though from F&G. Rotated mid for the second water rune timing, so he's able to take that out of the hands of the Earthshaker. Squad X got the other one. Meanwhile, F&G is almost solo killing Laguna, still hunting for that first blood, and it's going to be F&G that finds it. Gets a bunch of solo experience as well. They'll slightly overlap their stuns, but there wasn't really any kill threat. Just trying to, punch back on Malice.
Just another one of these damn universal heroes, man. The Vengeful Spirit able to do so much in the laning stage, just with a bunch of branches, and now with the Magic Wand completed as well. An additional little bit of stats given over as well. Makes it even easier for him.
Love seeing 2 enchant totem hits and Squad X loses like 1600 health. Sorry, 600 health, not 16. That'd not be good at this stage.
And this is what I was talking about when it comes down to that like XP advantage that he's going to have, right? He's got about half a level on Squad X right now. 3 points in the enchant totem. It scales incredibly quickly. So you got to make sure that you're trying to dodge out a lot of this consistent aggression, because, I mean, if he times it correctly, he might be able to, in this next wave, hit the Echo Slam and be able to get that surprise kill. Still, though, he's doing pretty well in terms of net worth on Squad X.
Yeah, no, he's actually playing this lane very well. I've been paying attention to it more than the others, so been very impressed. I'm just very worried on, like you said, this Eastern Europe Earthshaker with the changes that we got with the Enchant Totem attack range. I'll hold that thought, because Sayush and Dark going toe-to-toe should favor the Clockwork, especially with the rotation from Natty Narwhal, and they don't even need it. Dead shot from downtown. And what happened? Okay, Haste Rune got denied, so weren't able to pick that one up for Natty as well.
But the thing is, this is a really bad situation. You know, Natty Narwhal wanted to be part of that kill. Yes, it still goes over to your Muerta, so it's not the worst, but by that time, it means that the Ember Spirit was able to have a free lane just for a little bit. You know, he's finally not getting harassed by those enchant totems, and he's been able to pick up his own level 6. So much more survivable now in the lane. You're probably not going to get caught out by an Echo Slam.
Hold on, bit of a dive up top. That double stun to be able to help cut him down. That is a much needed kill. Well, a very good kill. Not much needed, especially with how well the lane's gone. Even Squad X is actually coming top.
I mean, it's
so they should be able to get the kill.
Time.
Yeah, they'll be able to get that along with the kill. They give it to Squad X, I think definitely with him being here. So another refill of the bottle. Meanwhile, got another fight as well going on. It will be Sayush that somehow finds it. Dark's going to be able to get a solo kill nonetheless, so he gets the experience, but it was 2 wisdom rooms to favor the boys on VP.
Yep. At the Skywrath, I believe, only got 1 of them, though, because it was the Ember Spirit to be able to pick it up. So it's still going to be a little bit of a, not slow, but it could have been a faster Mystic Flare combination looking to come out. So I'm really expecting to see obviously enabling the Ember Spirit as much as possible, but also just where exactly is Sayush going to be looking to make a lot of these next plays happen? Like, is he going to be given the lane for even a very small amount of time just so that he can hit into that?
And they're going to make an attempt mid in the next couple of seconds. We got a nice backstab from F&G. Sayush is even walking down the lane as well. Maybe they're even just trying to get set up because you do have that power rune spawning very shortly. Laguna's already nearby. I don't want to care about that though. I mean, Echo Slam used, but Natty Narwhal might not even get the kill in return, so that is huge for VP. You won't be able to get the power in, unfortunately, for Squad X, but that is Echo Slam now wasted, and you slow down this Earthshaker's game.
And I'm finally seeing the value of the Flame Guard, right? Basically, it was setting up for that timing where so much of it was soaked up by the from the Echo Slam that it really didn't put a dent in him at all.
And is there like much comeback potential for an Earthshaker if he doesn't absolutely body his lane? Because he's now 500 net worth behind the Ember.
becomes very hard. You know, a lot of the times when we see this Earthshaker, you pick it because you're like, all right, this guy is going to absolutely dominate the lane. There's not much that they're going to be able to do about it. It provides a lot of extra rotations from the side lanes. And I mean, I guess from the one thing that it's going to result in, it means that the Muerta is going to have a little bit of an easier game, right? We've seen Sayush spend time away from this lane. They were even able to get rid of the Courier, so we don't have the Helmet of the Dominator yet on the Lycan. It's only coming out to him now, so it's probably like a minute or two slower, and it allows the Muerta to be set up for a little bit more of a game, right?
Speaking of the Muerta.
Backstabbed.
Yeah, but Sayush isn't here, though. I think they need the extra damage from the sky, and meanwhile, Dark is doing a really good job to address Sayush inside the lane. So another kill for the Clockwork. He might get ran down. Fisher's going to be able to prevent that. I'm very impressed with Dark's early game.
Clockwork's just a really solid hero as well, in general. Really being that frontline bodyguard for the Muerta, playing his role to perfection. Still, though, can't really say the same thing about the top side. I mean, we mentioned about enabling Retsu so much. Kiritich is the one that really has been enabled. He's already got about a 1,500 net worth lead over the Muerta on this Fen. Understandable, because you've got that inbuilt steroid, but... Oh, actually, Dark looks like he'll be dying for the first time here. Oh no, he gets a regen rune. They can keep the pressure going if they want. They've still got about 2.5 fire remnants to be able to play with. Obviously won't need to, but I'm really expecting to see this pick up for Matreshka around that time that the Maelstrom does come out for Retsu.
They're really looking to try and shove Retsu out of the lane, though, before that Maelstrom. Got the catapult
this is the
timing.
time that they made it happen last game, right? First catapult timing, they took top tower, well, they took one of the side towers, and then afterwards they rotated to mid after putting pressure on the tier 2. So let's see what happens this time. Really going for a deep dive here. Look at it.
Dark's in a really good spot once again. Dude, I mean, this Clockwork's position has been exceptional. Mystic Flare was used, but I'm glad we saw it on the stream. Retsu was able to sidestep that one. Another kill into the sky, and that is the catapult timing now wasted as well. I mean, you just mentioned how valuable it was for VP in game 1. They will get nothing out of it in this second game.
And this is what I love to see, you know, teams that learn from their past mistakes. One, they made sure that they were much more capable of addressing some sort of like big death ball style strategy. And two, they know that VP play this flowchart style of Dota, right? They're able to identify their big strong points and they're able to play around them perfectly. One of the big ones is that 10-minute catapult wave, and they set up for it perfectly. So I really like a couple of these little adjustments that they've made so far. But they're still going up against a damn good team. As we see, they're looking to go for a bit of a backstab onto him.
Finally, this time it'll pay off. Just needed the Ember Spirit. Did someone? Okay, I thought someone TP'd down bottom and it got cancelled, but no, not to be. So they get the kill, they get the tower. Now Kiritich is going completely uncontested top. I think even got a glimpse of Dark and is maybe thinking of a solo kill. Already level 10 from Kiritich, so he is having one hell of a start this game.
All right, so the next real thing that we're going to be looking for, couldn't ask for much of a better rune, to be honest, for Natty Narwhal to be picking up the Invis rune, because he's only 100 gold away from his Blink Dagger timing, and look at the wards set up by Dark up top. They know that this is where Kiritich is picking up a lot of his farm to the right-hand side of this tier 1 top tower. That's the area that he's going to be farming in the next minute or so, and that's where you really want to make sure that a smoke is going to be able to find him and pick him off. Nicely done by Squad X, though. Making sure he's keeping the lane pushed in, forcing some sort of movement to be a little bit more obvious. When they want to make the move right now, but he's just not going to enable them to. Even noticed. Look at this. They realize that they want to make something aggressive happen. I mean, the Blink Dagger is still going to be a bit of a surprise, but...
It's got to be huge, though. Like, it needs to be a huge jump from that in Narwhal. Oh, what a sidestep, Sayush. I mean, that kind of reveals what's going on now. You still don't know where the Earthshaker is.
No, you do now. He's just set up. He's underneath the vision right now, and they're actually going to make the jump.
Over the top they go. Natty Narwhal, they're going to make sure they separate themselves, but the silence, they don't have to care. They'll get on top of Dark as well now with a mega kill streak picked up for the Ember. And meanwhile, Kiritich has activated the God Strength top lane as well, so this tower as well is under assault.
Really, really nicely done by Virtus.pro. That play in particular, right? Just forcing them away. I don't know if you can walk up into this, Melis.
When you're getting kills on Moeta down bottom, Kiritic is solo killing Melis up top. Another round of the cleave. He'll use it on the illusions instead. Well done. Oh, Kiritic, beautifully done.
Oh, playing so damn well, man. They're really in the mood. They're saying, you know what? There was a little bit of a break, but oh, he's gonna steal some of the stacks too. This is getting out of control even faster than last game. And I was complimenting Matreshka before about how they'd made a bunch of their adjustments, but VP are just playing on a different level as they make a jump. They're trying to get him.
Oh, a little bit awkward there. What's the call from Kiritic now? He's actually going to stand and fight? I mean, he's got the boys to play behind him. Moeta's going to try and come in with the Pierce to Veil. FNG will mitigate some of the damage. They should still be able to get the kill onto Kiritic. But now with Squad X here, he's out of mana on the Ember. Is it really going to prove to be too much of an issue, though? It's a 2-for-2 currently. But Matreshka, it's an all-out retreat now as Mel is slowed down. They're going to have the walls to continue chasing. They try to jump in for the Earthshaker, but he's not going to have the damage to turn it around. Maybe draws their attention away, and he'll do just that. So it will, in the end, be just 2 kills apiece.
Plenty of stick charges to be able to play around with, though, on Natty Narwhal, so he felt confident in going for that dive. Just look at that. The surprise factor, they finally were able to kill off this Fen, stop him from farming, get a good injection of net worth over to the Earthshaker as well. So he's looking to not be locked down by the searing chains. Basically, nothing's going to stop him once he decides to go in, right? Other than the Venge swap. And I mean, with a Blink Dagger, you obviously get the advantage of having that quick burst potential if you're able to prepare the enchant totem for it.
He hasn't even...
Again, a lot of these wards placed down by VP as well, right? There was one that just expired right on the Twin Gate. There's one underneath. There's one inside the jungle. That was a little bit more obvious, but it still just provides so much vision, and it makes you so scared to have nowhere to be able to pick up this farm for Retsu. He's going into the Dragonlance, but I mean, if these wards are allowed to stay around, it's just going to result in more and more deaths for him if he doesn't have that saving tool in the BKB.
Dude, Kiritic hasn't even touched his Ancients. He's a quad or a 5-stack even. That's just crazy, his net worth. He's doubling the Moeta. Yep. He's even got a Wisdom Rune as well that they've left.
Wisdom Rune, making his own stacks. This is just a single. Ooh. This is the thing I was talking about with FNG, right? Venge, you might not play too much on that bottom side of the map, but if you're able to pick up, build up a lot of those stacks, it can really start to snowball into something else. And well, we still got that Mystic Flare to be able to play around with. Squad X with the double damage coming through, and well, priority number 1 is still going to be Mr. Retsu.
Ooh. Actually going to pass him. Having what if he keeps farming off to the left? Looks like they'll read it pretty shortly though. He's got an observer on the cliff, but it's not going to matter. As soon as the smoke pops, it's a bit of a beacon of potentially where he is. And now they're going to be able to jump over to the Clockwork as well. Great usage out of the DD. I mean, they're going to start to TP down because I know this tower is going to be under assault pretty shortly. I guess Lycan's not here at the moment. Do they actually want to take a fight? Natty Narwhal. So that's his Echo up. Very close to level 12 though, so like that.
I don't think so. I think as long as you're not losing your towers, I think you're generally okay with things. Well, not okay with it, but like, don't panic. Don't overextend. You've got lots of other lanes pushing in, right? Tier 2 towers are being assaulted in all 3 lanes, so make sure you just pick up a lot of that easy farm, get into the BKB, make sure you've got the Pierce the Veil active again, and they're only 700 gold away from a Dragonlance, so maybe Muerto will be allowed to finally stand on those backlines and just start wailing in. She's getting pinged out again, though. And once more, this is after she got ganked previously. Looks like they want to make the play top, though, realizing that Retsu's not going to be there. They're just rushing? See, oh, are they going to get Roshan and a kill onto the carry? That would be an absolute disaster, but luckily for them, they've got this ward set up on the high ground. The sentry was placed before the fact. Yeah, they see that there's 2 people down here. They know that they can take this.
Very good read from FNG. Doesn't have a buyback, but instantly once he's able to scout that out, the TPs are going to come through. They're actually going to run straight at Matreshka. They don't want to give them an opportunity to take a fight in a close proximity area where the Echo Slam can be an issue. And as soon as that's the case, along with the Shapeshift used, it's an all-out retreat from Radiant. They won't be able to stop the TP out of Melis, and they won't get anyone else as well. sit on from FNG. I mean, it feels like that's just the experience from him.
It is, but again, you're not accomplishing multiple things at the same time, right? This is probably the first time there's been a somewhat even trade coming out from Matreshka. You're going to lose Roshan, but it's at the cost of making sure that Retsu gets a little bit of that extra farm. He's going to be able to pick up that Dragon Lance. He's also got a Gossamer Cape. Feels really nice against both the Sven and the Ember Spirit to be able to protect against a lot of that damage. And even just hitting up onto the level 12 as well. You know, an additional 50 attack damage that you're getting from that, an additional second that you're going to have for the duration, and 15-second lower cooldown, so you're not going to be as punishable.
Oh, Malice down bottom. Really nice play. He's going to use the Greaves to get out of the silence and should be okay to this without the blink on Kiritich. So, I mean, that was where they were trying to scout out the Muerta previously, right? But they'll run into the darks here. So then we do see how much damage that these two supports are able to dish out just with the Venge and the Sky together.
You can tell the VP are a little bit worried with how much farm Retsu's been able to pick up in this last little bit. The line being drawn on the map by Kiritich was to basically look to invade inside the stacks, make sure that he's not scaling at the same space as us. And, well, looks like they should be able to get a quickish kill onto Dark. And it just feels like a game of cat and mouse right now. Retsu continuously running away from any sort of aggressive attempt onto his life. Yep, just goes bottom. They just patrolled through for me. All right. I'm going to wait until these creeps are hitting into my tower. Not even wanting to reveal on the map for a split second.
And VP are very good with their Tormentor timing of when to occupy the enemy side. It was similar to last. Took a fight like 19 minutes in around that bottom tier 2 area. Now this time there won't be a fight, but nonetheless, a shard picked up for FNG. Very nice shot.
Even just look to bounce it off like a wall of replica illusion onto a hero that you actually do want to take down. But it's a similar story with Natus, right? This is the Lycan's really scary initial timing. Doesn't even have the level 2 on his ulti yet, but he's still got a Helm of the Overlord creep. I mean, you just consider some of these auras as well, right? We don't even have a single point in the Vengeance aura, but you've got that, plus the Helm of the Overlord aura coming through for the Sven, who is already hitting like a truck. What are you supposed to do against this?
Are you poking high ground with this?
Yeah, possibly. Or some sort of a response. You know, you don't want to give Muerta the time to be able to get into this period where she feels a lot scarier, and she's not bad at high ground defense as well. If you're able to get some, like, cheeky dead shots off the trees back into the base, maybe you can isolate a hero. That's not the place that she wants to be right now, farming on the bottom side of the map. Very close, though, to the full Hurricane Pike. Oh, she's getting
Cliff. Yeah, they want to go and try and take her out. They got a really nice Absorb Ward deep inside the lane as well, so they'll see if she retreats that way or back into the jungle. They're going to be able to catch her, though. It's only Sayush at the moment, so a little bit slow to be able to get there. Now, you are separated with 3 heroes towards top. They're going to spy out Melis, swap back instantly into the stun from Kiritich. Beautiful setup. Standing on top of the Vengeful Spirit's location, so he's able to get that damage out as soon as possible. Now, this could be another opening for them to get more damage into the tier 3 tower, knowing the Glyph is already...
Yeah, he was able to dodge out Retsu, the gank attempt, because of the lack of smoke, so lack of movement speed. They weren't able to go right over towards that observer. He'll be fine. But also, was she forced to TV back? Yes, she was. So Retsu would love to have his level 15 right now. Was able to finish the Hurricane Pike, but he needs that extra 35 damage just to be able to dish out a lot in these small little windows that they're going to have. You know, it's not much just having a hook shot to be able to play around with, like a vac wall, these sorts of things. You might need to even get a little bit lucky with the Gunslinger procs as well. I know you're a fan of this. They're instantly going to be able to get rid of the Observer Ward. And when you're in a losing situation, it doesn't always feel like the time that you want to be buying a gem, but they just need to be able to leave their base. Might want to just wait for like 40 seconds, wait for the Aegis to expire, and then make their play.
Again, man. Another swap outside the base. They're going to try and take the fight. There's going to be no buyback out of the darks here. The Echo Slam's not going to be enough to turn the tides. They'll deal with the Ages, but the piece of veil is going to expire shortly. Once it does, they'll try and turn to Retsu next. Nadi Narwhal's going to help the retreat with the fissure onto 2. So a lot was used.
Mostly by Matreshka.
Whoa. Nat, can he get away though? I mean, you're just trading your life for that. You are positioned 2 for a support, and FNG knows it. Now Retsu as well is going to get dived under the tier 4 tower, and he is not in a position to buy back. He needs every single gold he can get to be able to buy some items.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a fight that looks like it was just so far in VP's favor, but it's because of the tiniest of things, right? Just Nadi Narwhal blinking in there with the Echo Slam. Like half a second after the BKB was already activated. Nice 4-man back wall, but again, it's up against a Lycan, it's up against a Sven. This is not really what you're scared of when you don't have the God Strength, when you don't have the Shapeshift form. Those illusions don't really do all that much. Yeah, just Echo slamming into it. Ember Spirit that had already had the BKB pops didn't provide them the chain lockdown that they needed. And yeah, like you mentioned, without the Pierce the Veil, how close? He is 6 experience away from level 15 as well. Maybe he would have had the damage to be able to take someone out if he had just been able to farm one more wave. And again, they killed the Sven, but he had 25 seconds left on the Aegis when he died. So I really didn't think they cared that much. They're very happy with that trade to be able to secure a lot for giving up very little, getting a full lane of racks. Everything going well for VP right now.
See if that stops short here, though. I mean, 21,000 deficit. This is a desperation smoke.
You need Echo so badly. It's another 10 seconds away. They don't have vision to be able to see that they've just placed down this Observer Ward. So that's a plus. They've still held on to the gem as well on Laguna. Retsu, he's finally hit up his level 15. He's also got a Hyperstone delivered through to him. No Mjolnir just yet, but they're just trying to force one person to be there on their own. The only one remotely close to that would be Notice. The rest of them are all roaming around together because this is the period of the game where you know you've built up another of a net worth lead that you don't need to be super greedy. You don't need to go for too much more farm. You're strong enough to be able to just ball down these lanes, and that's where the line is being drawn on the map by Kiritich.
Yeah, even though the smoke doesn't get them at 5, that ward placement will scout out currently VP's position. So they know they're grouped up as 5, and they know they might potentially be coming towards this a triangle outpost area. So they are making sure they group up, and if you're ever going to win a fight, it's around a higher ground with a ward set up.
Yep. High ground, I mean, but do they even need to go here? That's the thing. They've already taken tier 1 top. What's the point of going up onto that high ground? It's by far your weakest area of the map to be able to play around with, and I believe they actually used 2 smokes to be able to go for that that previous attempt there, so they've got none at their disposal. Lots of
another swap out. What? Nadi Narwhal's going to do as much as he can along with the wall, but they are just tickling Virtus.pro with the net worth lead they have. They can shrug off all the ultimates. All the wombo combo is not enough for Matreshka to turn the tides. They'll deal with the base in quick succession. And Squad X going to hold them back as well.
Just a little bit of the lack of respect for where VP would have been, right? Like you mentioned, they've got vision up on that high ground. They had vision of the Dire ancient camp, so...
Ooh, what is that crit?
Yeah, that's a pretty big crit, and they just instantly call the GG. Retsu is out of here, and very understandable, finishing in 1-6-5 on his signature Muerta, but up against the Sven, as farmed as Kiritich, it really wasn't going to be able to do that much.
I must say...